Welcome back to Invincibles, everyone. So the market has been extremely slow today. I want to make sure we cover exactly how bad the market does look. A lot of people asking exactly how bad it does look. How exactly are we going to possibly recover from this? What exact levels do we need to make sure we do hold above and break above to have better market conditions? And which levels do we want to make sure we do hold above to make sure we do avoid a possible market crash? I'm going to go over that with you guys here. And all I ask in return is you guys smash that like button and hit subscribe if you guys want to see more chart updates on potential breakouts that we mentioned throughout the week. So let's jump into this one. So I'm going to go over the ES with you guys. This is the S&P 500, the 500 largest stocks in the stock market representing most of the market. I want to make sure we do cover this so you guys can see exactly how bad the market does look. What exactly are we looking at here? So as you guys can see, again, we have been on quite the sell-off. You guys can see the 20 moving average is crossing below the 50 here on the 4-hour chart. As you guys can see, we are bouncing right off of this point that we did see previously as our previous breakout point that we did mention. And as you guys can see, we have been continuously breaking out since then, and we have been consolidating on upward. As you guys can see, we have been cooling off quite a bit recently, looking to see if we can bounce back from here. So you guys can see this level here at 4,346 is very key for us to hold above here. You guys can see we are testing this level. We are going to need to hold above this level here. If we cannot hold above this level, then we are going to be looking to see if we can hold above next week's level. In my opinion, this will be next week's level that we do need to hold above here if we do continue on down going into tomorrow is here at 4,286. As you guys can see, we did mention these levels exactly previously in this chart. As you guys can see, we have our warning level that we mentioned previously here at 4,227. And then our possible crash level here that we have here at 4,178. Now, I wanted to mention this because previously you guys can see here on this enormous spike down that we did see previously, again, you guys can see we have our possible market crash. We came down to these levels. A lot of people thinking that we might have a crash here at these levels. But however, if you guys remember, this level right here that we did have when we dropped down was when Biden did mention a possible 100% increase in capital gains, which gave us a huge sell-off. But however, we recovered from that and we did break continue highs and we continued to rally since then. As you guys can see, we had our spike down at this point. A lot of people talking about inflation, a possible market crash because of inflation at this point, and we continued to break into new highs, as you guys can see here. So in my opinion, based on the amount of conversation that has been going around in the market, we don't quite need to be panicking quite yet until we do drop down below these levels, in my opinion. So going into tomorrow, we need to make sure we can hold above these levels here at 4,346. As you guys can see, we had our dip here. We had our continuation breakout here as well. As you guys can see, we had a lot of fear in the market multiple times. As you guys can see, we continue to bounce back from them. And in my opinion, we are having a cool down only because every other market in the world is getting a lot of sell-offs because of COVID and what's happening in their countries. There's a lot of countries that have been shutting down. There has been a lot of people that have been losing interest in trading only because the market has been losing a lot of volume recently. But however, in my opinion, this is exactly when we want to be watching out for a possible level to have support, to have better market conditions. And in my opinion, to have better market conditions would be, of course, breaking into new highs. But however, if we did have a pullback and we did come down to these next week's levels that we did mention and our warning sign that we do have here as a possible bounce back from, then if we do consolidate here and we continue on up and we break continue highs from there, then in my opinion, that would be extremely healthy for us and could give us that rally that we are looking for. So again, if the market does continue to sell off, in my opinion, of course, it's not something that we want to be looking forward to. But however, if the market does continue to sell off and we can bounce off of these levels and we do not break down below the level that we did see previously when Biden did mention a possible 100% increase in capital gains, then we could have a possible bounce back and a possible rally from there, which also could give us the volume that we're looking for to have better market conditions. Again, we always have to keep in mind every single stock eventually becomes oversold, just like the market. As you guys can see, the market has been oversold. We have here on the RSI, we have mentioned previously that we have bearish divergence. As you guys can see, we have been continuing on up since then. As you guys can see, in my opinion, we have been a little overextended based on the buy pressure we have been having recently. As you guys can see, we have the EMA lines holding below the MACD, showing us that we may have a continuation sell-off as well. So again, we're going to see if we can bounce back from pre-market lows, and if we cannot bounce back from pre-market lows, in my opinion, then we could have a possible continuation sell-off, and we are going to be testing this level here at 4,286, in my opinion, from here. And the reason why I mentioned these levels here is because we have the VPVR, again, the volume profile, showing us the most amount of volume that was traded within the S&P 500's time period. As you guys can see, these are very key levels that we do need to hold. If we cannot hold above this level here at our possible market crash, as you guys can see, we have a large gap down here that we could possibly have all the way down to our previous pandemic levels that a lot of us do not want to happen. So again, we have been on a little bit of a sell-off recently, and the reason why a lot of people are curious if we're going to possibly have a market crash is because a lot of people have been expecting it multiple times all throughout these dips, and a lot of people are going to be expecting for a possible continuation sell-off based on that. So in my opinion, watching these levels are very key, and from an intraday perspective, again, anybody that is day trading, this is not financial advice, this is only my opinion. Based on these levels, in my opinion, are going to be bounces that we are going to be playing off of, and the volume that we're going to be playing off of. If we come down and we test this next week's level, we bounce off of it, then we'll get volume at that point. We'll have runners at that point as well. So from an intraday perspective, I'm not too worried, but however, again, as far as volatility and volume coming in the market, that's the only thing I would be worried for. And in my opinion, if we can get that bullish momentum that we're looking for, then we could have more momentum for these intradays. But however, if we cannot bounce off our pre-market level, then we could have a possible continuation sell-off and possibly bounce from here, and that could give us a lot of momentum going to that day and that moment in time during the day. So again, S&P 500 still definitely on the watch, but however, again, definitely watch these levels as it is very key. And I wanted to make sure I did go over this with you guys, and especially all of our instables, so you guys can see exactly how bad it looks, so you guys can know exactly what everybody's talking about, how exactly the market looks. What is all this talk that a lot of people have been talking about? As you guys can see, we are not quite at that point where we're going to be looking at a market crash quite yet, but we are trying to hold specific levels to make sure we do avoid that possible crash. And again, with these bearish divergence that we have been looking at, again, the price action, as we do have an increase here in the price action, as you guys can see, we have a decrease here on the RSI showing us that we may have a cool down. And as you guys can see, we have been cooling down and we are oversold here on the RSI, showing us that we could possibly bounce back going into tomorrow, or we could possibly have a continuation sell-off based on the 20 moving average below the 50 here. So in my opinion, going into tomorrow, we do have a huge market watch today. We did have a nice bounce back. We could have a continuation breakout, and we could rally and continue on up like we have previously on all of these dips. So the S&P 500 definitely on the watch for this momentum. And if you guys do want to see all of our penny stock breakout alerts throughout the day, we alert penny stocks all throughout the day. We mentioned multiple plays. We mentioned PMCB yesterday on an 80% breakout. We mentioned SGLC yesterday on a 70% breakout. The day before that, we mentioned VRPX on a 200% breakout. We mentioned NAOV, I believe, the day before that on a huge breakout as well since pre-market. So again, with that said, if you guys want to see all our breakouts throughout the day, go to instables.com in the description below. You guys will never miss a penny stock breakout alert of it again. And again, everybody that has been supporting the channel and everybody that has been in the comment section, much love to you guys as always. You guys are the best as always. And if you guys do like this video, it does help other people find it, and it does help the channel grow. And I do appreciate it very much. And again, God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next video.